Hey, good afternoon. My name is Adrian and I'm an intern in this center. Yeah, how may I address you, sir?
You can call me Jim.
Jim. Okay. Oh, Jim, welcome to the center. Was it difficult to get your way here?
A bit hard to find this place, but otherwise it's okay.
Okay, well, I guess you might be more comfortable next time you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been for a psychotherapy session like today before?
No, this is actually my first time.
This is your first time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's very brave of you to come on forward to speak to someone like me whom you're not too familiar with. Yeah. Well, before we begin, I'd like to share with you about what psychotherapy is about so as to adjust our expectation accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, psychotherapy is not a magic pill where you take and one session, two session and you are all fine. Yeah. Typically, clients will come in, they will share about some of their concerns, and we'll work together for about maybe 10 to 15 sessions before we see any changes. Yeah. So in the meantime, I think that it's good for us to be patient with the process of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And as we speak about the process, it's actually a very collaborative process. Yeah. I may have some knowledge, some understanding about the literature, about the research, and some of the struggles that you're undergoing. But still, you are the author of your book of life, and you know the struggles that you're going through better than I do. So we're going to come together, we're going to work together, collaborate to work on a plan so as to help you to move onwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope to have your commitment in this relationship.
Okay.
And another thing about psychotherapy is that whatever we share in the session, it will be kept confidential between you, me, and my supervisor. Yeah. So I will share with my supervisor about these sessions, and she can provide some guidance so as to provide you with the best care.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the event where you share with me that you have thoughts or plans to hurt yourself or hurt people around you, I may have to break this confidentiality. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So for today's session, it's an intake session. It will probably be about an hour to an hour and a half. And in this time, I will be asking you about what brought you here today, some of the concerns that you have. I will also be asking you about some history about yourself. Yeah, some questions that I'll be asking will probably be a little sensitive. Anytime that you do not feel comfortable with some of these questions, please feel free to let me know.
Okay.
Okay? And some of these questions, they may or may not be related to the struggles that you are facing, but it will provide me with insights about where you're coming from. Yeah, so I hope that you can be open to share with me about this information.
Okay.
Okay. So, what brought you here today, Jim?
It's been happening for some time already. I mean, just coming to today's session, you know, it took me so long. It took me so long just to leave the house. I was supposed to leave the house at 1, and since 12, you know, since 12, I've been doing these things that I need to do. You know, I would go to the window, take the key, and then I'll put it into the lock, and I'll open the lock, and I'll close it again, and I'll give it a little tug, make sure that it's working, that the lock is fine. Then I'll go to the door, I'll do the same thing, open the lock, and I'll close the lock, and I'll give the door a good shake. Then I'll go to the kitchen, check the switches. There are lots of appliances in the kitchen, you know. Check the stove, make sure that it's off, and then I will go to the bedroom. I check that, like this drawer of mine with all my valuables, my some spare cash, my passport that is still locked, and then I'll open the lock, and I'll close the drawer, and then I'll lock it up again. And the thing is, just checking one time sometimes it's not enough, you know, it's not enough. And I'll check it again, and then again, and again. Until I feel that it's safe enough, then I can leave the house.
Sure. So it sounds like you're going to do quite a number of checks. And Jim, I'm just wondering, as you are doing these checks, what went by your mind?
I mean, I just don't know how safe it is. What if someone were to come into my house? What if someone were to take away my stuff? What if it's in the middle of the night and the robber or the burglar comes in and he hurts my family, you know, my wife, my 2 daughters, and me? What if he kills all of us? Or maybe set fire to the house? You can never be too sure, you know.
And do you believe these thoughts to be real?
I know, you know, I know that it's not likely. I know that Singapore is a safe place, that my neighborhood is safe. I live near a police post. I know that the police would protect us. But something happened to my brother, you know. Something happened to my brother 3 months ago. He's someone that I'm close to and I look up to. And one day, a robber came to his house in the middle of the night and took his stuff. You know, I think he lost like his laptop, quite a bit of money, his wife's jewelry. Thank goodness that the robber didn't hurt his family or hurt him. You know, my niece and my nephew, they're fine. But what this shows that it's possible. It could happen to someone. No, it's not likely, but it's possible, and it happened to my brother.
It sounds like a very scary experience.
It is.
And when did that happen?
About 3 months ago.
Okay. And when did these thoughts start coming in that you need to check so to ensure safety?
The very day he told me this, when I went back home, I thought, okay, I better check, you know, make sure everything's okay before I go to sleep. So I checked my locks, I checked my drawer was also locked, my valuables are in place, then I tried to go to sleep. But even then at night, you know, I couldn't sleep very well because I was a bit worried. Then the next day when I woke up, okay, I told myself, no, I better check again. So I made sure everything was okay, locks are fine, all working. And then I left the house to go to work. And as the time went by, you know, I needed to do more checks. Once isn't enough, twice isn't enough, 3 times is not enough. I had to keep checking until I felt it was safe to leave the house.
It sounds frustrating. Was it tiring for you?
It's very tiring. Can you imagine? 1 hour, 2 hours, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
As you have these thoughts that it's not safe, I need to check. I'm wondering, how were you feeling at that moment when you had these thoughts?
I was scared. I just didn't feel safe. I don't want my family to come to harm. When those thoughts come to my mind, I can feel my heart beating faster and faster and faster. And there's like a tingling kind of feeling in my skin. And then I know I better start doing my checks. I better make sure everything is okay. And then slowly, as I do my checks, the feeling will go away. The feeling will go away, and then I'll get better. And then I'll know that I can leave the house.
Okay, and what does better means?
You know, I just feel more at ease with myself, more comfortable. You know, I'm not so nervous on my toes anymore. Then I'm okay. Then I know I can start the day. Yeah.
Okay. So which part of the day does this happen?
Every time before I leave the house, you know, I have to do my checks in the morning. Before I go to work, I have to make sure everything's okay. And then when I come home, I need to make sure that the locks are still fine, that nobody has messed with my locks. And everything is the way I left it to be. Switches are still off, and my valuables are still there. You know, I have to do this every day.
Okay. So you do it every day just before you leave the house?
Yes.
Okay. And can I also ask, what's the usual duration that you do your checks?
Today it took me an hour and a half. You know, it goes up, there are ups and downs, you know. Sometimes I take longer, sometimes I don't take so long. It really depends. It depends on the feeling, you know. I will know when I've done enough checks. I will know it. My body will feel okay. I'll know it.
Okay. You know when your body feels okay?
Yes. I'll know it when it's safe enough.
Sure. And what's the longest duration you can recall?
It's probably a couple of weeks back. I remember that day, you know, my boss was giving me hell. He was screwing me over because I couldn't hand out my work on time. You know, that day when I came home, I was so frustrated, I was so stressed, I was under so much pressure. So once I came home, I quickly did my checks. But that night, you know, I couldn't sleep well. You know, I kept thinking about work and then the safety of my home and my house and my locks. So that day, I remember I woke up especially early. I woke up at, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock. And I started my checks. At 4 o'clock, I did all my checks again and again and again and again and again. Yeah. And until 7, you know, usually that's the time that I'll leave home. Yeah.
So that's about 2 to 3 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. I was really tired out by then, you know. But at least I felt safe. I was tired, but I felt safe.
Okay. And early on you mentioned that your boss was upset with you.
Yeah. I mean,
What happened?
anyone would be upset with me. You know, so at my workplace, you know, we have a lot of deadlines to meet, reports to submit, papers to turn in, and then the big shots would discuss and stuff. So we have lots of deadlines, and some work I have to collaborate with my colleagues. You know, I have to do my part, my colleagues have to do his part. We combine the portions together, table a good paper, my boss do the editing, and then we'll submit it afterwards. So I find it really difficult now to focus on my work. Because of these thoughts, it keeps coming to my head, even at work, you know. So I'm a bit slower at work. I hand in my work a bit later than normal. I kind of missed deadlines. My boss is hounding me. My colleagues are asking me what's the problem, why am I taking so long. I tried telling them, you know, I have some difficulties at home. I need a bit more time. You know, at first they did give me a bit more time, but then I think their patience just wore thin, and they're really pissed off with me right now.
So you're saying that your checking behaviors resulted in your work being affected? your relationship with your boss as well as your colleagues
Yeah.
is also being affected.
Yes.
And before all this checking began, how was your relationship like with your boss and your colleagues?
I mean, I used to be quite a good worker, you know. I always make sure that I do my work on time, I finish it, I check it once, make sure there are no mistakes. It's a good piece of work. And then I'll submit it to my boss. You know, sometimes we go for meals together, but now, you know, I don't eat with them anymore. You know, because sometimes during lunchtime when these thoughts start coming in, you know, just to get rid of these thoughts, I have to go home to check. I don't stay that far away from home, thankfully, so I go home, do my couple of rounds of checks. I feel okay again, then I go back and continue my work.
So, let me just share with you what you just spoken to me about. You shared with me about this incident that happened to your brother. And since then, your thoughts about feeling unsafe and the need for checks. Yeah, and you feel scared about it. What if something happens? So I need to check. Yeah, but as a result of the checks, it's been causing you to not perform well at work and your responsibility at work, and affects your relationship between your boss and yourself as well as with your colleagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems things are not going too well for you. It also sounds very tiring having to check and leaving your work to go home just to check and to return back to work. So apart from your work being affected, I'm just wondering, are there any other aspects of your life that's affected as a result of all these checks?
Because my family, you know, they don't get it. So in the morning, you know, I'm supposed to send my wife to work, I'm supposed to send my daughters to school. But before I do that, I have to do my checks, right? So I have to do my checks. I try to start early, you know, believe me, I really try. I wake up early, I start my checks early. And then sometimes to speed things up, you know, I try to tell my wife, can you just help me check those switches again? Let me check the stove again, you know, so I can focus on the locks. My wife would say, damn, crazy. You know, she tell me to stop it. If I could stop, I would. But I have to check. Then my daughters are impatient with me, telling me that they need to go to school, they need to get to school on time. And there's sometimes that I just take a bit longer than usual, so I send them to school late, the teachers are complaining, and my daughters are pissed off with me, and I tell them I'm sorry, you know, I know, it's my fault, you know, it's my fault. My wife is pissed off when she's late for work as well. So, I mean, things just haven't been going on too well. And even on weekends, you know, I don't feel like going out so much anymore because I just want to stay at home and make sure everything is safe. You know, so they want me to take part in their outings, you know, to go to shopping centres and have a good meal. But I just want to stay at home, you know, just because it's safe here, I don't need to do all these checks when I'm at home, you see. So they just do this on their own, you know, without me.
I think it sounds really frustrating to be misunderstood, because on one hand, I see a man who is responsible and wants to care for his family's safety.
Yeah.
But as a result of all your checks, your family members, your wife and your daughters, they are frustrated with you, they're upset with you because it affects their ability to get to work or to school on time, or you see him absent in the leisure activity, the family time, the bonding time. Yeah. I imagine it's really frustrating for you because it feels like you're misunderstood.
Yes.
Is that how you're feeling?
Yes, that's right. They don't get it. I tried telling them, but they don't get it.
And you mentioned that you asked your wife to help out with the checks.
She doesn't want to help. She doesn't want to help. She thinks I'm crazy. But I'm not, and I know I'm not crazy.
Okay. So earlier on, I asked you about, when you were thinking that I need to check because I need to be safe. And during that time, you mentioned that you felt scared. Were there any other body sensation that came by, or that you noticed?
I mean, it's that my heart racing, just tingling in my skin. I mean, I was just feeling nervous, just nervous. And I had to address it. When I feel this way, I have to address it. Then I'll just start my checks. It's just these thoughts that I have. I can't seem to keep it under control. I try to shut it out. I try to distract myself. But it just keeps coming at me. These thoughts come, and then I'll get this sensation, and then I know I have to start checking already. Yeah, just to kill it off, and I have to start checking.
Sure. And when will this sensation subside?
It depends. Sometimes like 3 rounds of checks.
After 3 rounds.
Sometimes as long as 10, 20 times.
Well, thanks for sharing that with me. And just now I asked you about when was the worst situation, and you shared with me about your boss. And next day you got to check for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that was the longest duration you had.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering, was there a time when you didn't feel that there was need to check?
It was one time. So one fluke time. I mean, that day my parents, they came over to spend time with the children. So for the first time in God knows when, I had some time to spend with my wife. So we booked tickets to watch a movie, made reservations for dinner, got dressed up, and I was surprised, My parents came, looking after the kids, and I just walked out of the house like that with my wife. We just walked out of the house. Part of me was very excited about watching the movie with my wife and spending time with her. But what shocked me the most was I didn't need to check. That was okay. When I went on for the next 2-3 hours without having those thoughts and feelings. Watched the movie, it was okay, the dinner was okay. Like I said, it's once off, I was coming back home, I was approaching the gate, my house, put my keys in, unlocked the gate, and everything started coming back again. The thoughts started coming back again, the feelings started coming back again, and then I had to start my checks again, just to make sure. It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. My parents are at home, my children are at home, there are people at home. I just needed to check just a couple of times, and then I was okay. Yeah. So that must have been one of the best times I've had, with my wife.
Well, that was an interesting experience that you had, that you didn't have the need to check.
Yeah.
I'd like you to stay with that experience for a while, just hold on there, and I'd like you to think about what element of that experience provided you relief from the need to check?
I mean, I guess that could be because my parents were over. I mean, they take good care of me and my brother. They were at home, and I was really looking forward to spending time with my wife. You know, I mean, it's been a really long time since we had any couple time. Most of the time it's always with the kids, helping them with their work, homework, and after that it's us going back to work again. Hardly have time for each other. So I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, it was almost like a relief to just go out of the house and spend time with my wife. It's like a huge stone off my back, you know. I don't have to worry about the kids because my parents are there.
Have you ever thought of doing that again?
I mean, depends, you know. My parents, sometimes they have their own plans. They also have my brother's kids to look after. Because they're staying with my brother. So, yeah, they don't have that much time, you know, to keep coming back and forth. They're not that young anymore. You know, so most of the time, just but my kids are old enough, so just me, my wife, and them. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. As we are talking about family, I'm just wondering, do you know of anyone in your family or relative that has experience or something similar? Or you tend to worry a lot?
As a matter of fact, yes. I mean, my mom's mom, so my grandma, you know, I'm not that close to her because my mom is not that close to her either.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom telling me that my grandma was a bit strange, that she was afraid of going shopping, you know, that she will like all of a sudden like almost like black out, pass out, you know, like get really scared.
Mm-hmm.
And they give it a name, you know, like my mom was saying like what's that word? Panic. Yeah, just called like a panic. Yeah, so, and I don't know if it was ever treated, you know, but she passed away like many years ago, you know. Yeah. I think that's all that I know of. I think my dad's side is, I don't remember such things happening.
I see. How about yourself? Previously, did you have times in your life where you felt that you were more worried than usual?
I mean, I always had some worries, but not to this extent, you know. I mean, very normal worries, yes, like when I'm going to get my promotion and stuff like that. But nothing like that, you know. Nothing as big as this. Nothing even comes close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you also, you know, you shared about the need to check, and you find comfort, you find that you're able to cope after you check. Apart from checking, do you use any other strategies or methods to help yourself to cope?
I mean, I try to distract myself, like watch TV, or think about other things. I try to shut out those thoughts, I try to shut it out. But nothing works, you know. Nothing works as well as checking, seriously. Nothing works. Believe me, you think of it, I've tried everything. Nothing works. Best thing to do is just do those checks. Just do it. I tell myself, just do those checks and I'll be okay. So just do it. You know?
Sure. So you have tried some stuff like watching TV to distract yourself, and you find that it's not useful for you?
No, nothing comes close.
Okay. Okay. Well, do you remember just now, early on, you said that going out with your wife, and at that moment you didn't feel there's a need to check?
That's true. That's true.
Okay. I'm also wondering, do you use any of like substance, drugs, or alcohol to help yourself to cope?
No, definitely not. I don't want to get addicted to such things, no.
I see. Okay. And sometimes people who has got stressful situation, for example like yours, they tend to have thoughts or plans to maybe hurt themselves or to hurt people around them. Just wondering, do you have such thoughts or plans?
No, definitely not. I know that my job is to protect my family, and in order to do that I need to be fine, I need to be safe, so I would never hurt myself.
Okay. I'm going to ask you some routine questions that we would usually ask our clients, and I hope they can provide me with some insights about them. Yeah. As you worry, do you worry about your health?
No, I'm usually quite healthy, my health is good. I don't have such worries.
Okay. And do you observe that you have got certain involuntary movements or reflex?
No.
No.
No, not that I know of.
Okay. How about seeing things that are not there or hearing voices in your head?
Definitely not. I'm not crazy, you know. I'm definitely not.
Yeah, thanks for sharing with me. These are some routine questions that we would usually ask our clients. Yeah. So you share with me about this need to check your thoughts, your checking behaviors, these feelings of being scared, and as well as the heartbeat increase and the sensation that you shared with me earlier. What are your sense about it? Like, what do you believe it's about? What is causing all this?
I know for one thing that I'm not crazy, you know, and I know that it's not likely to happen, but just that the risks are just too great, you know. It's a very small chance, but the consequences are dire. So I just need to make sure that everything's okay. So, just that it's getting out of control, you know, it's getting out of hand. So I just want to keep it down. You know, I just want to be able to control this checking. I just want to be able to control these thoughts of mine. I don't want it to affect my family. I don't want it to affect my work anymore.
Okay, so that sounds like some of the possible goals that you like to set for yourself, and you don't want it to affect your work, your family, the relationships. Yeah. Okay, I'm just wondering, do you have beliefs about, you know, what caused these issues?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I mean, it happened to my brother, so it only makes sense to me that it could happen to anyone. Someone so close to me. It happened to someone so close to me. So it's just something that I can't shake off, you know. I can't pretend it didn't happen, because it did.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing with me. Earlier on you mentioned that your sleep was not too good. Yeah, sometimes you start thinking about things. Yeah. So how frequent do you receive poor sleep?
It depends. It really depends on the stress that my boss is giving me. And I don't know, I mean, it's probably 3 to 4 times a week.
3 to 4 times.
3 to 4 times a week. Weekends I'm usually okay, you know. My when my boss is not around to give me hell, I'm actually okay. Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe more about this sleep to me? Do you have difficulty falling asleep or difficulty remaining asleep? How is it like for you?
I mean, falling asleep, sometimes before I fall asleep, if I have those thoughts, I start feeling a bit anxious.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit difficult to fall asleep, isn't it? When you're feeling this way, you know. So I'll just do a quick check, you know. I'll just go up, get out of my bed, just do a routine check, maybe once or twice, 3 times. Everything's okay. I assure myself it's okay. I go back, and then usually I'm able to fall asleep. Yeah, but I always tell myself, you know, next day morning, I better wake up in time. So I set an alarm clock a bit earlier, so I have enough time to do my checks, so that my wife and my daughter won't be late. So I always try to wake up about 5. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, I actually wake up even earlier before my alarm clock even rings. Yeah, because I know, back in my mind, I know that I have to wake up early so that I can do my checks. If I wake up earlier, I have more time to do my checks. Then my daughter and my daughters and wife won't be late for work.
So there are some nights that you will do checks as well as before you leave the house as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. How's your mood been?
I mean, it's normal. It's normal. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. Some good times, some bad times.
Sure. And how's your appetite been for you?
It's okay. Yeah, it's all okay.
Sure.
It's normal. I don't think anything has changed.
Okay. Thanks for sharing all this with me, Jim. I'd like to summarize what you just shared with me. You shared with me about, you know, having the need to check on your locks, check on your window, your lights, your stove, your drawers, to ensure that it is safe. And you have thoughts that someone might break in, someone might cause harm to my family. This is unsafe if I don't check. It brings about feelings of fears, and it causes your heart to palpitate faster. Yeah, and other sensation that you receive in your body. And as a result of all this checking, it seems that your work, your relationship with your boss, your relationship with colleagues, as well as your family, has been affected. Yeah, and it sounds to me like one of your few main aim of coming here is actually to work on this, to improve on your functioning, your daily functioning, to improve your relationship, to improve your work. Yeah. And do you think that reducing this checking behavior will help?
Yeah, definitely. Just want to keep it under control.
Okay. And you know, I see a man that's caring for his family, but in some way misunderstood. Yeah. I'd like to encourage you that, you know, don't give up on yourself. Yeah. We can work on reducing these checking behaviors. And I'd like to encourage you also to be patient with yourself through this time.
I'm glad you understand me, you know.
So I'm going to ask you other questions about your history and probably your family of origin. Yeah. Is that okay for you?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.